So the reason for this video, as a guy bought a rower off me. The rower is in perfect condition. It's pretty much brand new still. I only sold it because of the room it's taken up. Because I've got other things being delivered and I want the extra space because I'm not using it as much as I should do really. So I'm selling it on. It's pretty much brand new. It's not a cheap one either. It's over £230, the rower. Like I said, I can't put across enough. It is pretty much new still. I posted the pictures on eBay. It looks brilliant. The serial number was on there. It's all in the description, everything. The guy turns up. I invite him in to look at it. I show him it. And then he was happy to stay outside. He didn't want to actually come in. He just thought, oh, I'll turn up, pick it up, take it and go home. That'll be it. He picked it up at 5:30. And then the next morning at 8 o'clock, he sent me a message saying he tried to use the road this morning and there's a problem with the handle. You hold on to it, it's on a chain, it's an air rower. And he says he pulled it back and he says it wouldn't go back. It was going back very slowly, the handle was. Which is where the problem comes in. He classes that as unusable because the handle retracts. It goes back to the base very slow. And he says if you hold it, it pretty much stays there. It's it's meant to. There's no force pulling back the handle because you're sitting on a seat and you slide forward and that's when it retracts from the momentum, the rhythm of you going forward. There's only resistance when you pull it, obviously, because it's a rower. But to him, it's not working correctly because it's not pulling the cord back. But it's not even a cord, it's a chain. And so it's just, this is the problem I'm with now. I've messaged him, replying, because I don't understand that's just me trying to think of a reason why he's getting in touch. He hasn't actually, because in his eyes, he pulls the handle, he can sit there and nothing happens. He says it returns very slowly. Which it's meant to. And so, to me, from the messages that I'm getting off this guy now, it's going down the loophole of him. Eventually, he's going to ask for a refund. I know he is. But my issue is I've read on different scams now. I've read up on this YouTube lark where people will return an item that's different to the one you sold them, but it might be the same model, but it might be the one that's broken that they've got and they're trying to swap it for one that works. Because my rower is 100% working. The listing was up for 5 days. The pictures I took were there and then as I was doing the listing, and I used it to make sure it's still working when I was posting the item. I'm going to sell a broken item and they expect someone to give me almost near full price for something that's broken. They come to my house and they pick it up. That's not going to work, is it? So, where was I? Oh yeah. Say he returns the item and there was only one mark on mine and that was a black mark. There was no other marks anywhere else. It was, like I say, I can't say enough, it was brand new, pretty much still. What if he returns it and then I sit on it, because I want to try it if he returns it. I want to see what's wrong with it. Because if he might be returning a broken thing. And what if I use it in front of him while he's there and I say, it works, there's nothing wrong with it, it's perfectly how it should be? Because all eBay have suggested is that he sends me a photo or a video of it, what's the problem with the rower. And I asked eBay, can he post a video through the messages on eBay? Because that would help in my case if it comes anything up. And I even explained to the guy who's the customer service, says, if you use a rower, when you pull it, there's a resistance, but when the handle will stay there with you because you pull it to your chest. And if you hold it, it will just sit there. It will. It's not going to force you back to the base. You slide forward and then that's when it pulls the chain back in because of the rhythm. And then it like loads up the wheel and then you pull it and that's where the resistance is. The eBay guy says, yeah, that's right. That's how it works. I've used them before. That's what happens. But I said to him, that's what the other guy's issue is. It's not pulling him back. Oh, it's a lot of hassle, eBay can be, because you read a lot on it as well, and it says the seller is always the one that's punished. The buyer always seems to get more rights than the seller. Don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Oh, but I don't want him to leave me negative feedback as well. That's the only issue when you're a seller. You don't want a negative feedback with someone that's not understanding what they bought. But I messaged the guy earlier, and I've sent him a few messages actually. We had like a little conversation going, but now it's broken up for like 2 hours, 3 hours. And so the guy would have to send me a video with what's wrong with it by email, which doesn't sound practical when you could just... eBay is £1 million, multi-billion pound company, and they can't allow you to send videos through messages on the actual website. And it was a nice transaction. To me, the eBay guy says you haven't got a returns policy either. So I says, well, I know 100% it works how it should. Why would I put a refund policy on there? I know it works. There's nothing wrong with it. But just this guy doesn't seem to understand how the rowers work. And maybe he's happy now. That'd be much better if it just comes out to a nice outcome where he's like, oh, I didn't realise that this is... But in his comments, he says it is unusable because you pull it and it stays there. He's just, I can't get my head round it. This happened before. I've actually got an eBay store. I sell a certain type of thing. I only put this on there because I want the space. The rower is nothing to do with what I normally sell. And people will buy things that are made for a certain manufacturer or whatever, and they'll buy it for a separate one, thinking it'll still fit. And you have to explain to them, no, it's in the description, it will fit this. If you choose to try and fit it to something else, then that's your problem, not mine. And this guy just doesn't understand how a rower works, an air rower. So that's where I'm at now. I'm wondering how this will turn out. There is obviously, you can get second chance offers to other people. There was only a couple of quid difference between this guy and the second place. But to me, you should always, if someone's picking something up, always show them that it's working. I mean, I invited him in, I showed him how it folds and unfolds and where the bolts go. But I didn't think I need to show this guy that it works and how it works, because I didn't do that when I bought it. I didn't go, oh, I want to see it work and make sure it works. Because I know it works. That's why I didn't freaking do a demonstration. I know it works. But I didn't realise I had to explain how it works to someone. You pull, you slide forward. You pull, you slide forward. It's as simple as that. But that's enough now. It just gets me so frustrated. People's stupidity. You have to think for other people. It happens a lot nowadays. You have to think for everyone. You have to show them how it works. You have to tell them how it works. You can't do enough for people. So I'll end it there. And I'll update in the next few days, because obviously we'll have a whole rapport then, and we'll have a whole conversation. And hopefully will be an outcome. Thanks for watching. Let me know your eBay stories, if you've got any. And let me know the outcome and how it went. And if you're the seller or the buyer, what you think. eBay is for buyers, not sellers. So, ciao.